I call to order the regular meeting of the Township of Morris Planning Board for December 1st, 2025. The legal notice required in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act has been satisfied and a statement certifying same will be executed. Could you all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To call the roll, Sonia?
Mr. Flowers?
Here.
Ms. Van Order?
Here.
Mr. Rabbit?
Here.
Ms. Murphy?
Here.
Mr. Cullen?
Here.
Mr. Revere?
Here.
Mr. Vine?
Here.
Mr. Warner?
Here.
Ms. Laney? Here. Mr. Bush?
Here.
Mr. Kirkpatrick?
Here.
Mr. Kirkpatrick is my replacement, okay? And I, Sonia Santiago.
Thank you, Sonia. Okay, welcome everyone. Before we move to the regular agenda items, I have a bittersweet moment here. As Sonia just said, this is, or mentioned or implied, this is her last meeting with us in the planning board here. And we certainly appreciate all the time she spent and want to recognize that. So we have prepared a proclamation to recognize her long service. So if you'll join me, let me formally recognize and give you a sense of our appreciation. So a proclamation today. Whereas Mrs. Sonia Santiago has served the residents of the Township of Morris for 24 years, including 21 years as the Secretary to the Township's land use boards, such as the Planning Board, Board of Adjustment, Open Space Committee, and for a period of time, the Environmental Commission. And whereas prior to her work in land use, Mrs. Santiago served 1 year in the Building and Engineering Department and 2 years in the Tax and Sewer Department before finding her long-term professional home in land use. And whereas, throughout her career in public service, she has earned an impressive range of certifications that reflect her commitment to excellence. And whereas, Mrs. Santiago has announced her intention to retire at the end of December 2025 after 24 years of dedicated municipal government service. And whereas, during her tenure with the Township of Morris, Mrs. Santiago has consistently fulfilled every duty and responsibility with care and commitment. Her experience, loyalty, and dedication have strengthened the township and benefited its residents. And whereas Mrs. Santiago takes genuine pride in her work, which is evident in the quality she delivers. She is detail-oriented, professional, organized, and reliably independent. She meets new challenges head-on, never turns away from responsibility, and has long been known for safeguarding her records and standing firm when needed. Her work ethic is rare, valued, and will be deeply missed by the township. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Planning Board of the Township of Morris and the County of Morris and State of New Jersey as follows. That the Township of Morris Planning Board, on behalf of the citizens of the Township of Morris, extends its sincere appreciation to Mrs. Santiago for the many years of service and offers its best wishes to her husband Paul, and her daughters Erica and Zuma. Be it further resolved that this recognition be presented to Sonia Santiago. Thank you.
Servicing all the residents of the township. It has been a great pleasure in serving you residents of the township for all these years that I've been here. Thank you so much.
Okay, moving on to our first official business, I guess. Resolution. We have a resolution from the PB 1325 from last.
Come back to follow, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
And I won't even try, but this is the capital project review resolution. As the board is aware, the Morris County Park Commission installation of a 12-foot by 10-foot shed to house the septic system components at the Lewis Morris Park. And as always, we hope it's an accurate memorialization of the board's unanimous decision finding the proposal to be not inconsistent with the master plan and making not a single recommendation. So it was a perfect proposal and a perfect project, I guess.
Any comments on the resolution? Can I entertain a motion to?
I'll move that we pass it. Approve it.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Second. Jesse, and your microphone's on, please. Could you call the roll, son?
Ms. Denora,
Yes.
Mr. Flowers,
Yes.
Mr. Rabbit,
Yes.
Ms. Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Riglia,
Yes.
Mr. Pike.
Yes.
So moved.
Okay. Moving on to public hearing on our, the minor subdivision of the PB 0825. You want to tee this up for us?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. I just want to note for the record the continuing recusal of Board Member Alesso from this matter. And we did receive a notice for this particular matter. It was updated from the prior one. It appeared to me to be sufficient in content and to be timely, certified, mailed on November 20, published on November 21, both at least 10 days prior to this evening. So unless there's an objection by anyone, I believe the board continues to have jurisdiction to hear the application and decided, albeit I happen to understand it's not going to be decided tonight.
Okay.
But I don't want to give any more away. So we can proceed, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nancy Lottenville from the firm of Prime, Tuval, and Maselli, excuse me, representing the applicants, Mark and Lynn Piccolo, concerning 35 Schoolhouse Lane. This evening, I have provided the board with a letter and multiple attachments dated December 1st. I'd like to mark that as, I believe, Exhibit A3.
Yeah, A2 is the last one, so
Okay.
that's correct.
The letter is, when you're ready, Mr. Warner, you ready? Yeah, okay. The letter lays out the applicant's position with respect to the width of Schoolhouse Lane right-of-way. At the last meeting, as you will recall, it was asserted by several of the people in the audience and the objectors that the width of the right-of-way is a 66-foot wide road, whereas the tax map and multiple other indicia of a 50-foot right-of-way exist in the township. And the letter explains our position with respect to that. The master plan, plate 6, circulation, a copy of which is attached to the letter, and I'd like to mark that as A4.
Just so I'm clear, Mr. Chair, if I may, Mr. Chairman, the letter, is that a December 1, 2025 letter addressed to the chair and the engineer of the board, and it is 5 pages?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
And
Because what I was handed was something different, but
it's been distributed to the board,
distributed to the board.
and I emailed it to you.
No, I do
earlier
have a
today.
copy, that's why
Yes, all
I
right.
knew it was a 5-pager.
Right.
But at the date, I'm good, but I'm not that good. Okay, so the letter itself, the 5 pages is A3, and I'm sorry, A4 is?
Would be the master plan, plate 6, circulation,
Okay, that's 1 page, A4.
correct?
Okay.
Where is,
And that'll do it for now.
last page?
The letter, which you can review at your convenience, but the overall summary is that we have found multiple indicia of a 50-foot right-of-way pertaining to Schoolhouse Lane. And that consists of the official map, the master plan plate 6 indicates that Schoolhouse Lane is a collector road. The tax map, which we previously discussed, indicates that it is a 50-foot wide right-of-way. The land use ordinance describes a minor collector road as a 50-foot right-of-way with a 30-foot wide pavement. We have also gone in great detail in item 2 of the letter of December 1 to describe multiple deed references along Schoolhouse Lane. I reviewed the 20 deeds of conveyance to 20 lots on either side of Schoolhouse Lane. And in the other addendum to the letter, which I would like to mark as A5, and that is entitled Schoolhouse Lane Right-of-Way Deed References. We have located, Mr. Warner, let me know when you're ready.
No, just for the record, that's 6 pages, correct?
That is correct. The Schoolhouse Lane right-of-way deed references is a summary of all of the lots on either side of Schoolhouse Lane. They're located in 2 blocks. Block 3501 is the side of the street where the subject premises is located. And directly across the street, the southerly side of Schoolhouse Lane is in block 3601. And I have this evening our engineer and our surveying expert who will walk through this summary with the help of an exhibit, which we're going to mark as A6. And that is entitled, what's it entitled? Tax map exhibit on land and Osterkorn sheet, consisting of 2 sheets. And I think it would be most helpful if we could bring up the A6, the tax map exhibit, for the benefit of the public who are online, and I believe my engineer has brought a large version herself. Okay.
You want tax map?
Yes, please. And then we'll put Ms. Osterkorn on the record.
Excuse me, is this an exhibit that was submitted earlier today?
Yes.
I wasn't provided.
I'm not aware that it was provided, it's being presented at this meeting now.
Yep, that's what I just asked. Whether it was provided earlier today to anyone, you said yes. And now you're saying that it wasn't. Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
Do you have a copy of it, an extra copy, by any chance?
Sonia, do you have a copy of the package? The extra copy that,
It's my understanding, Mr. Chairman, just for the record, and applicant's counsel can correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding these were just handed out
yes,
to the
They
board
were.
members on the dais by applicant's counsel and/or
Yes.
the applicants. Just a half an hour ago. Okay.
what she's showing, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, Mr. Chairman, what she's showing on the screen that I believe was, I don't have a copy of that.
This was,
Wait,
let me correct.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, maybe council can finish, objectives council can finish, but that's why I asked if you had an extra copy to give him if he doesn't have one.
I'll give him this one.
That's just the tax map, that is not.
The entire package.
The tax map was submitted with the letter to show the 50-foot right-of-way indication on Schoolhouse Lane in the letter. The exhibit has not been presented to anyone else until this moment. The exhibit is an exhibit.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Chairman, do you, I don't have a copy either then. I have something that looks like if it's not, doesn't have the designation of the repair.
And neither do what we have.
Neither does the board.
No, the board is just without,
Somebody's gonna have to, at some point, get the exhibit C.
The exhibit was not
That's yours.
completed until late today, until after the letter was written. I did not mean ever to include the exhibit in the letter. It is an independent exhibit.
That's fine. Other than what's on the screen, do you have a copy of it?
I have a partial copy, but not the entire copy. I don't have
Well, then,
it's on the
we'll all
screen.
operate from what's on the screen, I guess, including the board members, and at some point, an actual copy will be provided, or maybe if it was provided digitally to Santiago, perhaps we can make copies at some point here after this evening.
Let me consult with my engineer.
We do have copies in our packages.
No, it's not the same.
similar, but it's not exactly
No,
the
see,
same.
they weren't
We just
there.
got it today. We just got it.
We just got it that
Yeah.
morning.
If you'd like.
Oh, none of that is different.
And that's,
What?
Not even half.
That's okay.
Yeah, right.
I don't think that's
see the
necessary.
lines through the middle there?
Is it, if I may, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Is it, what you have on the screen, is that the same thing as what was provided with the letter, but for the fact that it has the preparer's information on the right from the surveyor engineer?
We called out stuff.
Oh, it also calls out
We
things?
call out the location of some
Ah,
of the more pertinent.
All right, so we don't have it, okay.
Wait a minute.
Other than on the
I'm
screen,
happy
that's fine.
If we want
It,
to make copies.
however you wish to present the case is fine. We can operate, at this point, I don't think we have to stop the proceedings to make photocopies. I think we could follow along. Mr. Simon, you're at no disadvantage more than anyone else, for the record.
Well, for the record, no one should be disadvantaged.
I never anticipated that every exhibit entered in a planning board needed to be copied 15 times. It's an exhibit, but I'm more than willing to allow this to be printed and everyone can follow it.
I think everybody can follow it on the
And I'll
screen.
give it to Mr. Simon so he is not disadvantaged.
Whatever applicant's counsel prefers, however you want to present the case, you present the case.
For the record, Ms. Osterkorn, would you state your name, address, and your qualifications? I believe you've been previously qualified. And while we're doing microphone things, could we also, well, we'll start with this.
And we will also go over the revised. That is all I have. It's a deed book and page reference. Deed book and page reference in my handwriting because I don't have a copy of the printed.
Okay.
Kirsten Osterkorn, 42 Central Ave, or Midland Park, New Jersey, on land in Osterkorn.
And previously been qualified.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, please do.
Ms. Ostergaard, would you tell us what the exhibit that we have marked as A6?
Sure. It is a tax map exhibit. It is a 2-sheet set that we had put together. Originally, it was of one, but then we added in the second sheet, which I will refer to. The notes that we call out on it, as noted, as can be seen on the screen, are by deed book and page with lot numbers and references to tracts and deed books and pages that is part of the documents that you submitted, that all that we had referred to for 25-foot dedications, 50-foot right-of-ways, that was just supporting the application.
So you prepared this exhibit, and would you tell the board what the larger numbers with the number sign in front of them represent?
Those are the addresses on Schoolhouse Lane. So our subject property is number 35, which is block 3501, lot 6. All of the other number signs are the addresses that are along Schoolhouse that are associated with block and lots that referred back to the deed books.
And the tax, thank you. And the tax lot numbers are also indicated.
They are indicated in the circles on the page. The block is in a square, block 3501, and across is 3601, and then the lot numbers are in the circles.
And on referring to block 3601, which is the opposite side of Schoolhouse Lane from the subject property, correct?
Yes.
And if we start at, do you have your notes? Yeah. So I believe that lot 1 is the schoolhouse itself, owned by the Morris School District,
Yes.
and that's lot 1, block 3601.
Yes.
And at lot 3, would you point out lot 3, 3601? And that is number 12.
Schoolhouse Lane, yes, but on the screen, that's this lot.
And the meets and bounds description with that, would you describe the information we obtained regarding the meets and bounds description?
So lot 3 is a 2.75 acre lot with 458.52 frontage. The meets and bounds from July 2025, beginning at a cap rebar set with the right-of-way of Schoolhouse Lane noted as 50-foot right-of-way, said point being from the division lots of lots 3 and 2, block 36001 on the official tax map of Morris County and running thence.
So that description references a 50-foot right-of-way.
Yes.
And moving to lot 5, what is the address on lot 5?
Lot 5,
That's 502.
5 is number 40, Schoolhouse Lane.
And what did we locate there?
40 Schoolhouse Lane was a 3.24 acre lot with a 628.96 foot frontage. It was conveyed in August of 2020, described with a proposed southwesterly sideline of Schoolhouse Lane marked by a concrete monument set on a survey and proposed subdivision plan, block 5, tax lot 5, block 3601, tax sheet 36, prepared in November 2005. And then it gives some bearings and distances, but it concludes with a Schoolhouse Lane said point being 25 feet southwesterly with respect to a dedication.
25 feet southwesterly of the middle of the road?
Yes, I'm sorry, of the middle of the road, and it refers to an older deed book and page.
And then that's course 6 and course 7
Yes.
repeats the 25-foot from the middle of the road, is that
Yes.
correct? Okay. Moving on to lot 501.
Yes, 5.01 is number 44. Schoolhouse Lane is a .865 acre lot with a lot frontage of 212.06, 44 Schoolhouse Lane. Legal description of 2013 deed. beginning at a point in the center line of Schoolhouse Lane, 50 foot wide. Both courses 1 and 2 referencing iron pipe set. Course 3 running vents, and it continues on from a 50-foot right-of-way from the center line.
And with respect to lot 502,
502 is a 5.39 acre lot with a frontage of 248.22 square feet, feet of frontage 36. It describes it being started at an iron pipe or concrete monument, and then course 8 runs parallel to and 25 feet southwesterly of the middle of the road as described in the same deed book previously mentioned of book 2066, page 280.
and now lot 6. Who owns lot 6? Where is it and what's the address?
There's lots. Oh. Lot 6 is on my page 2 of 2. Sorry.
So we're at page 2 of 2.
Page 2 of 2 of the tax map exhibit on Schoolhouse Lane. North is up on the page. There is a deed of dedication for right-of-way to the Township of Morris, 52 Schoolhouse Lane, block 3601, lot 6.
And the date of that dedication?
This deed dedicated 25-foot right-of-way along the southerly side of Schoolhouse Lane in December 1989. The description includes the meets and bounds of the dedicated right-of-way, which specifically references a 25-foot half-width for 5 courses.
Excuse me, we seem to have lost,
Oh, I'm sorry. For Sonia, this is the second page. Thank you. And then it continues on for the dedication of deed recites. It's in accordance with the subdivision from 1989, revised August 12th, 1989, by James Halsey.
and then the next entry for lot 6.
Lot 6 again describes that was the deed of dedication for Lot 6, but then Lot 6, which is a 3-acre lot with 290 square foot of frontage, also refers to its courses running parallel with a distance of 25 feet measured at right angles from the center line as described in the above referenced, which is the deed of dedication for the Township of Morris at 25 foot.
And then finally, lot 7.
Lot 7 is next door to it.
And that is the address? Is an address?
54 Schoolhouse Lane. 6.8 acre lot with 2 frontages on Schoolhouse. It's partially with Mendham, but the current deed describes Lot 7 as beginning at a point on the southwesterly side of Schoolhouse Lane, 50 foot wide at a point beginning 25 feet, 0.73 on a bearing. It gives a bearing from the center line of Schoolhouse Lane.
And that, of course, refers to the deed of dedication we previously discussed.
Yes.
So that dedication is in deed book 3246 at page 5
Yes.
in 1989.
Yes.
All right. Then moving to block 3501, which is the opposite side of the street.
Sonia, I'm going to go back to the
Page 1.
sheet 1. Tax map exhibit, sheet 1.
And I refer you to lot 2.
Lot 2,
Is number 53?
number 53 Schoolhouse Road, deed book 5441, page 6, dedicated in 2001, refers to a deed description beginning at a point in the middle of Schoolhouse Lane having a 50-foot right-of-way.
All right. At this point, I would like to bring up the revised subdivision plan, sheet 2 of 3.
These were the submitted plans.
Correct.
This last revised date,
No,
18/20/25.
that is correct.
I have it submitted as of November 21, which I believe is, I'm sorry, November 20th.
20th.
2020, which is at least 10 days prior to this evening, so we do not have to mark it as an exhibit, but can just reference it.
Thank you. This is our amended, our revised site plan, excuse me, minor subdivision application as just referenced by Mr. Warner. And did you prepare this plan?
Yes.
And what does the plan reflect with respect to the width of the Schoolhouse Lane right-of-way?
We revised the plan. One, just side note, we put on the shed that it was noted that it was still there, so we went back out there to make sure it was still there. So it will be removed as it was explained by the applicant at the last time, but it is still existing right now for the shed. But with respect to the right-of-way, we noted all the evidence found. So in the southwest, the west corner of the lot, there was an iron pipe found by Dee Dee with no date in the southwest corner, which is at the intersection of Schoolhouse Lane. We had an iron pipe found with no name and no date. And in the east corner or southeast corner at the lower right-hand corner of the property, we found two forms of evidence. It was noted we found an iron pipe with no name and no date, and then we found, which lines up with a 50-foot right-of-way, along with the evidence we found in the lower left-hand corner of the property. And just behind that iron pipe, there was a rebar cap found named with Richard Smith with no date. It lines up with a 66-foot right-of-way, but based on all the, we're basically showing all the evidence found. So we show what is a 66-foot right-of-way per the roadmap from the 1700s, and we are also showing the 50-foot right-of-way per all the evidence in town tax maps and deeds of record that we just previously described.
Would you clarify the pin or cap marked as Richard Smith signifies which of the two
That was,
right-of-way?
it was marked behind the other iron pipe found, and it lines up approximately, it wasn't exact, but it lines up with where a 66-foot right-of-way would be. It was approximately 8 feet behind the other pipe that we found.
And the other pipe that you found signifies the,
It lines up with a 50-foot
50-foot
right-of-way,
right-of-way.
which lines up with the pipe in the southern corner, which is the bottom left of the page, as well as the northwest corner, the top left of the page. That all lines up with that evidence. There was other evidence also found on the block, which isn't, shown on a survey, but.
so as a surveyor, when you find inconsistent information, what is your task in terms of determining the right-of-way, and how do you reach that opinion?
We're supposed to present all the evidence found.
Which
So-
you've done.
Which we've done. We labeled this as a 50-foot lane. We can clarify it more of a tax map versus road map, but you list all of the evidence found and are documenting all information that you can find and provide and make your best opinion possible. In cases like this, where there's a question about a road width, and it ends up going with the research that we had found to the municipal records, it ends up going back. We can still document all the evidence that was found.
So in going through the various lots along Schoolhouse Lane, as we did just now with the tax map exhibit, you've identified numerous other surveyors with opinions with respect to a 50-foot right-of-way. Is that correct?
Yes.
And those surveyors formed their own opinion in looking at the information that they had. And is that correct? You have to answer.
Yeah, sorry, I nodded. Yes, that's correct.
And of the two of the lots you indicated had dedications, is that correct?
Yes.
And those two dedications are attached to the December 1 letter, and I'd like to mark them as A7. we, okay. And you mentioned, you testified previously that the 1989 dedication was the result of a minor subdivision. Is that correct?
Yes,
And that would be deed, the book and page of that deed?
3601, nope, that's wrong, sorry, that was the block. Whoop. Book 3246, page 6.
And the second dedication is with respect to lot that you testified to, I believe, is with respect to lot. Excuse me. Can I see this? Lot number 502, block 3601. And who is the grantee of that deed?
Richard Doremus?
No, the
Oh,
grantee.
the Township of Morris, sorry.
And that deed has 2 tracts described in it.
Yes,
One, a conveyance deed into the Township of Morris.
tract 1 and tract 2 is a roadway dedication.
And so the Township of Morris accepted and granted
Yes,
a 25-foot half-width roadway dedication towards a 50-foot right-of-way.
yes,
Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So did this material influence your opinion as to the correct right-of-way width?
it was part of our decision-making, yes. There was lots of other evidence found, corner markers, monuments, iron pipes that we found. Then along with doing the deed research on the entire block and finding dedications, all came to our wannabe conclusion of a 50-foot right-of-way. While there was the older research from the 1700s for the 66-foot, it seems to have been that the township has more accepted the 50-foot as the right-of-way for Schoolhouse Lane.
Thank you. Right. And let's move to sheet 3 of 3 of the, sheet 3 of 3 of the revised minor subdivision plan. Can you advise the board as to any, as to the revisions you made thereon? Starting with, let's say, the bulk schedule, did we add a category?
We added the category for the minimum lot area per family. That was noted at the previous meeting. We had our variances listed for lot area and lot width. We added the lot area per family as an additional variance that was put in the notice. Required was 1 family per 3 acres. We have for proposed lot 6.01, 1 family per 2.003 acres, and for lot 6.02, 1 family per 2.156 acres.
And what does revised sheet 3 of 3 reflect with regard to the width of Schoolhouse Lane right-of-way?
We continue to still note the dedication as 50 foot. We did
20, but
a
20.
25-foot road dedication,
And that is because your opinion is that,
that it's a 50-foot right-of-way.
and you base your opinion on surveying standards and,
The standards and
Formed an
practices, but again, it still goes to that it's we're presenting out the evidence that we found, documenting everything, but at the end of the day, knowing that there is that not official, it's up to the town to make that decision.
and so the bulk zoning table that you provide on this sheet continues to evaluate the lot size and the other variances based upon a 50-foot right-of-way, a 25-foot half-width. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions?
Board? Or board professionals?
Yeah.
So a couple minutes ago, we spoke to two pins along the edge of the property, one being
I can't
Two-
hear you.
two pins,
Can you speak up?
two pins in the plan right corner of the property,
Yes,
about 8 feet apart.
yes.
Those two pins, to which deeds are each of those pins referenced in calls?
And if you could remind us of the exhibit you're referring to for the record when you refer
Sure.
to it.
So the,
A6.
No, I know. I just have to find the right.
are either of them called in the subject property deed?
That's what I'm gonna look.
Okay.
Joe, what was your question? Are either of them called what?
In the subject property deed? So they're evidence in the field of a common lot line between the subject property and the neighboring property, I believe is it lot 8? Yes, lot 8. That's just looking for clarity on which pin is referenced in which deeds or in both.
They weren't referenced in the deed. They were found during our surveying fieldwork. But they're not referenced.
They're not referenced.
They're not
in
called,
any-
it's not saying to a point marked by a pin.
Okay.
It's just
So they're
our,
prior evidence of another surveyor's efforts.
yes.
Okay.
Or at some point when we were doing the surveying fieldwork with our metal detector, we found it when we found the one 8 feet behind too, but neither was called for specifically in a deed.
Or set by a surveyor with the
Not that,
markings.
the only one that had a name was the one that was 8 feet behind by Richard Smith, but it was not in a deed that we found that called for that.
So is Richard Smith common to the meets and bounds of either the subject property lot 6 or the neighboring lot 8?
It is a common lot line. The corner would be dependent on if it's a 50-foot or a 66-foot right-of-way, but neither deed called to that specific point set by a
Not-
specific surveyor.
So it wasn't called in either meets and bounds
Not that
to,
we
to
found,
the pin you found,
correct.
but are either of the pins or both representative of the point being called in the meets and bounds? So in the subject property, lot 6,
Yes,
when you run your boundary and get to that point, are either of those two evidence of what's called in the subject property's current deed?
in the lot 6 deed, that calls for a subdivision to, it calls to the subdivision of the center line of schoolhouse, but the schoolhouse is not referenced or dimensioned
Okay.
by the lot 6 deed.
Right, so that deed's still calling to the center line. That's
It
why
just
you're giving
says
the
center line and it doesn't specify. Sorry.
If I may, you're referencing the deed for lot 8?
6.
I'm asking for both. I'm just trying to understand if either of the evidence is already in the meets and bounds description as found, or if it was set by the surveyor that prepared either of the meets and bounds. And I think the answer is none to all.
None to, the lot 6 information that we have recites a subdivision affected by a conveyance that was approved by the Morris Township Planning Board in 1960. The 1960 meets and bounds begins and ends at the center line of schoolhouse, but the width of schoolhouse is not defined.
Understood.
So how and when those points were put in that specifically line up with a 50-foot and then the one behind it ends up lining up with a 66-foot, I did not find a deed to specifically call to those points.
Right, so they're just field evidence by other surveyors that were not set based on meets and bounds by that surveyor in either case.
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay.
For the record, both copies of both these with the full description are in the packet that I provided to you this evening.
Yes. So, it's a lot of engineering and surveying speak. I
Sorry.
apologize. What I was trying to identify is the certainty to which either pin was set for what purpose, and if they're then referenced in recordation. The answer being no on all. So, right, obvious, so surveyors will at times set monumentation for meets and bounds, or they may set evidence in the field for future callback and reference pinpoints. So somebody was doing their due diligence on those properties and establishing that point of reference, but it wasn't specifically called to as a marker for the corner pin to establish the edge of the right-of-way on this subject property or on the neighboring property coincidental line.
So if I'm reading this or understanding correctly, on block 3501, right, which is the block we're considered, there's, except for lot 2 and a lot 11, there's no reference to width the right of way. Everything is to the center line of the road in the deeds.
Yeah.
And lot 2, I think, says 50, or 25, half whatever, 50
Yeah.
foot. And lot 11 is the only reference to a 66 foot width of road, which usually dates back to the 1700s or something,
Yes.
right?
That's
Whereas
accurate.
on the lot, block 35 or 36 on the other side of the street, there are a number of references to road widths
Yes.
at right of ways, which are, I don't know, I didn't look, you read off there, are they all 50 feet, 25 foot hat width, or are there some references?
There are
Older ones.
there are some that don't have a right of
Oh,
way
don't have any?
reference. I
Okay.
referenced the ones lot 1 and 2 didn't have a right of way reference. I referenced lot 3. Lot 4, it talks to a monument but doesn't have a right of way reference. Lot 5 spoke to the 25 foot, 5.01 spoke to it, 5.02 and 6, and I believe 7. And 7. So there was less on the other side. That was, I think I answered.
Oh, yes, no,
Sorry.
thank you. Any other questions from the board or board professionals? Mr.
Looking back-
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Joe.
Just looking back at that, so on tax map sheet 35, the northerly side of the road, the subject property side of the road, the lot 1 at the top of the page and then lot 11 at the bottom of the page are the two that call to, sorry, only lot 1 calls to a 66 foot right away. And then lot 2 next to it calls a 50 foot and all others are not described by deed.
Yes.
Okay.
Then a lot 11.
Lot 11 does.
Lot 1 and lot 11 say 66. Lot 2
Understood.
refers to 50 foot and everything else in between doesn't.
Calls to center lines.
So calls the center lines.
Okay.
And the center lines are not described in terms of the width, correct?
No, it just says, it
No.
says no right-of-way dedication is referenced.
Any questions?
I guess I have a question. I'll try. I'm not quite sure who my question is for. So why are we talking about all this?
I was gonna say
I
that.
think
Okay, no,
it's because if the right-of-way is 66 feet in front of the subject property, then when subdivided, the two lots that are created will be smaller than what you're declaring them to be. And that will make, in some people's minds, perhaps, the severity of the variance is greater. Is that accurate? I mean, I don't know who feels like answering that question, but I think that's why this is a matter for discussion here.
You are correct. It will
Can
intensify.
you speak into the mic, please?
It will intensify the variances because the lot area, overall, the lot area of the two proposed lots will be smaller. And the variances for the interior lot width may also be exacerbated. We bring this to the board's attention at this point in time because we really cannot proceed accurately until we know which of the right-of-ways apply. We have maintained in our most recent set of revised plans dated November 20, that we, in our opinion, our surveyor and our engineer, in their opinion, believe that the 50-foot right-of-way applies, most particularly because the township itself has, in 1989, asked for a 25-foot right-of-way dedication as the result of a minor subdivision, and because the township itself owns a property in Block 3601 that it itself has dedicated 25 feet to itself. The township owns it and has dedicated 25-foot half width to the township. Those are very strong indicia of the fact that the tax map, which states that the right-of-way is 50 feet, is the accepted designation of the street. However, because there are multiple deeds that either don't, well, that a couple of deeds that revert back to the 1783, 1784 road return books at 66 feet, and because that fact has been brought forward to the board by the objectors, we're really at an impasse as to how we can proceed with our application for a minor subdivision and the variances that are required.
If the evidence for, if you're using evidence for one lot to argue for another lot, aren't you in effect saying that the right-of-way must be the same width throughout the length of the block? And is that the case? I mean, again, I'm not sure who should be answering this question, but
I'll defer to the
is
engineer.
it ever the case that the right-of-way varies from one lot to the next as you go from lot to lot along a block?
By recordation, yes.
By recordation, yes.
Because there is always the opportunity for legacy of prior dedications or establishment by filed maps to not be corrected across the entirety of the right-of-way. So all the common lots along the line. At some point, for example, the best way to understand that is that some of the deeds we're talking about tonight on this section of road and these two blocks, 3601 and 3501, still include a call to the center line of the road and have never established by their deed, their title chain, the dedication of the frontage to the right-of-way. It doesn't mean that the property owner owns the rights over the middle, their side of the roadway. It just means that the deeds and the meets and bound calls have not been established in recordation. And so the discussion tonight is regarding cleaning up one of those instances, a property that calls to the center line of the road and where the establishment of the center of the frontage is to be established.
And if for this property, it were determined that the right-of-way is 66 feet, that the center line is 33 feet from where the property owner's property line is, then wouldn't that also apply to every other property in the two blocks that has the same set of facts? which would be several other properties at least.
If I may, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Would it be more advisable, in my opinion, it may be more advisable for the applicant, through the applicant's witnesses, to take their position with respect to your questions. And ultimately, I suspect we'll hear from the objector, who may or may not have witnesses.
Okay.
Who may take a position, which may be the same, may be different. In all due respect to our engineer, who no doubt will have an opinion as well.
I was about to go there.
You let you off the hook.
We know each other well enough.
But I think the legal phrase is, we shouldn't get too far ahead of our skis. I think that's the phrase.
Mr. Chairman, I have first a comment, and secondly, I have a question to whom it is addressed. I don't know either, to follow your lead. This is a historic area, obviously, and the zoning that is in place right now was overlaid on existing development and an existing roadway system that dates back to the 1700s. That is very clear. That's the nature of this area. It's a historic area. And land use is often a messy business when you have overlaid zoning on existing development. And I'm struck by, when I look at the lots, the number of lots that are well below a 3-acre minimum, likely because they were there to begin with and they were smaller when the zoning overlay happened, whatever date that happened in the township. The question I have is similar to your question, which is, there is an existing road, and the existing road is clearly not a main arterial road, having driven on that myself. So I'm just curious to know why we are reaching back into the 1700s before the zoning existed to try to overlay that on an existing situation, which is clearly not the same as it was in the 1700s. It's now a very different residential area than it looked like back then. So that's my let me form a question here, which it follows you, like, should it all be one or another? And the fact that only 2 lots are referencing 66, everything else is either 50 or just references the center line, would indicate that those 2, to me, were in place back in the day. Everything else is perhaps more current, but also potentially affected by the zoning that overlaid it whenever the township did that. So I think I'm looking for some guidance from our planner, I think, on that. To the extent that you feel you can offer any.
The only thing I can think of that's just off the top of my head is to look at this. It looks like the lot was created in 1989, right? Is to see if we have a copy of the subdivision deed or resolution, just to see what it was, because that is more recent and that may have established what was anticipated at that point for the roadway. But I understand your question, and I'm not sure I have a good answer.
I mean, we have lots on both sides of the road that
Right.
are significantly smaller than 3
Right.
acres.
Right.
So it's not as though this was an area of land that fit the zoning that was overlaid on it. There truly are exceptions on both sides of the road.
Right.
And the road in question today is not a major arterial road in use. So I'm kind of just wondering why we're chasing our tail on this.
Well, it is something that we have to decide.
Well, I understand, but
That's
I'm just
Right.
a little befuddled about the whole thing.
Again, if I may, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
maybe it's helpful for all parties to understand the board's questions, concerns. That's an integral part of the process. as well as members of the public's questions, concerns. It may ultimately be best for each side to present their positions and for the board to make a determination as to that issue, whether it's a predicate issue or is going to be decided in conjunction with the ultimate issue of whether the relief requested is granted or not, to hear from the respective, not only counsel, but expert witnesses, and to ultimately then perhaps get more guidance from the board professionals, hopefully, and then make that determination. So in short, maybe we just have to go through the process. And maybe we should
Yes.
go through the process.
I take your counsel, so let's get on with
Yeah,
it.
in line with that, is there anything else? I mean, I think you've stated your case to summarize. Is there anything else you'd like to say in support of your contention that it's a 50-foot right-of-way before we open this up to questions to the public and to the objectors?
I'd just like to clarify, if I may, with the engineer, the point that whether the various deeds are inconsistent in terms of, or void of information with respect to the width of the roadway, it is the township's ability and right to establish a designated right-of-way. Is that correct? And that would apply to the entire street, not lot by lot.
You're saying the intended width based on the type of roadway?
I'm saying that in the situation that we have here with so many inconsistent deed descriptions, that one property is not going to have a 66-foot right-of-way and another property of 50, but rather the road has to be consistent from beginning to end at a particular width, pavement and right-of-way, such that the tax map indicates it's a 50-foot right-of-way.
My engineering expert opinion, because I'm not a surveyor, right? But surveyors present the multitude of facts they find in evidence and recordation, maps and deeds. And it is inherently imperfect in that municipality receives a right-of-way by dedication from the landowners to the municipality. If you own block 3601 and somebody else owns block 3501 on the two sides of this street, and somebody subdivides the southern side of the road, they can only grant the dedication to the center line to establish the width in coordination with the municipality during an approval. And the municipality can only accept that roadway after it's improved to municipal standards. When there's a road that already exists to standards, it's easier to accept the road. But if this was a blank slate and you created a paper street, that paper street is not the municipality's land until it is improved and dedicated, until it is improved and accepted by the municipality. So over 200 something years, these imperfections exist. And my opinion would be that you can have variable width right-of-way of 50 and 66 foot, and it does exist throughout the state of New Jersey in many municipalities. The surveyor, the township surveyor of the tax maps, continues to refresh the tax maps with mostly annual updates through the whole set and each sheet every couple of years, and continues to present this as a 50-foot right-of-way based on their compilation of all these deeds over time and the legacy of what they've inherited from other professionals. It doesn't mean that all the deeds match up to 50 foot, and it doesn't mean that those deeds wouldn't need to be addressed if they're centerline deeds in dedications when they come in front of you. So this is part of what I said before, that cleanup. And there is a cleanup here today to happen, or in this hearing, from the center line to some width. That width is part of the objection and part of what we're here to hear from both sides in their testimony.
In terms of, however, the actual pavement of the street that is within the purview of the town to dictate by way of an official map in the MLUL, Section 32, are you saying that the road would be wider in some places and narrower in others?
No, they're mutually exclusive. The width of the right-of-way and the width of the pavement are not dependent on each other.
So the width of the right-of-way refers to the fee title discrepancies,
Yes?
but the width of the pavement that the township requires is designated by the township. Isn't that correct?
Based on the type of roadway, correct.
And so the type of roadway here is also discussed in the letter at page 3. There are primary arterial roads that are 66 feet wide, major collectors that go from 56 to 60, and minor collectors with a design standard of 50 feet with a pavement of 30 feet. So I think in the land use ordinance, we have a discussion of both the fee right-of-way, but also the pavement width. So what I'm trying to get at is we have a historic anomalies all over the street for the technical right-of-way based on title. But by the same token, we have a design standard for a pavement width, and that designates, as you say, the type of street. We're trying to get at what is the designation of the street. And if I may, plate 6 indicates that it's a collector, which leads us to choose between major and minor.
So I'll offer you this. On page 2 of your letter, Exhibit A3, referenced at the bottom, Section A, Master Plan Land Use Ordinance.
Yes,
The definitions in Chapter 57-4
right.
are intention of a definition of a street, a type of street, right? The second section you see at the top of page 3 for 5782B 1 and 2, those are design standards. Those design standards where you're referencing the right-of-way combined with the pavement width are for the creation of roadways, or the added improvement of an existing roadway for the development that's going adjacent to them. So there's the reference 82B 1 and 2 for the design standard should not necessarily be applied to existing roadways to establish right-of-way widths without improvements to that road that are changing the type of road or the use of that road.
I understand. Then what would, and I don't want to put you on the spot if you need more time to review all of this information, but the third option under Section 57.4 definitions is a street minor collector, a street which conducts and distributes traffic between lower order residential local streets and an arterial street, as opposed to a major collector, which conducts and distributes traffic between arterial streets and then the arterial street itself, which is primarily for fast or heavy traffic designated on the sector plan maps of the master plan. Given the fact that plate 6 indicates this to be a collector street, And given the fact that it's a fork off of Washington Valley Road, which connects to an arterial, i.e. Mendham Road, my understanding would be that this is a minor collector street. And I'm wondering if you would agree. And again, if you want to take it under advisement, I understand
I
that.
don't. Our plate 6 doesn't define major versus minor,
It just says
and I don't
collector.
think it's necessarily the appropriate jurisdiction in this hearing to define it on behalf of the township. My
It is correct that we do not have an official map that
We have an official map, it's identified as a collector. If that collector is either a minor or a major collector, and you were proposing the roadway and you were going to construct it, you would construct it to the design standards in the subsequent section below it, 82B 1 and 2. For the right-of-way width, you would dedicate 56 to 60 and a 36 to 40 foot pavement on a major, or on a 50-foot right-of-way with a pavement width of 30 feet on a minor. Perhaps it's more appropriate that we allow both sides to play out and present their positions prior to getting ahead of our skis.
Yeah,
My-
that's fine.
My position representing this board is not to put on testimony for the benefit of either the objector or the applicant.
Okay,
So we're not going to hang our hat on my next word
okay.
to set the table on both of their positions. We can opine before the end of the night.
Okay.
Do you have any,
Anything else?
does the witness have any additional?
I just another comment on speaking to and in all of the towns and multiples that I've reviewed where it says variable right of way, that I've seen it change from 40 feet to 50 to 66 and back and forth. And I'm working on another application where 40 feet and they're asking for a 10-foot dedication for it to be a 50-foot right of way. Part of development and what happens in the towns, understanding the variable. The only point now with that of when I see a variable width, that it can vary and go, and you can see it in tax map where it jogs, is the only point now is 4 across the street for lots 5 and 5.01, which are directly across from lot 6, is those are the deeds and subdivisions that had it at a 25-foot and a 50-foot dedication. So the only other opinion I can give now is saying if they gave a 25-foot on that side and now the thought is it's a 66, does that mean our side has the additional 13 feet on our side? Or was it meant that in this area it is supposed to be 50 feet, 25 on both sides? I'm not talking about number 1 or lot 11 to the south, or in other directly across the street, lots 5 and 5.01 had a 25-foot dedication and subdivision done to center line. And that's why it's more enhanced on our side that it's the same 25 feet, while it can be variable plus and minus in different directions, but directly across it would be the same at 25 feet.
Any other questions from the board? Okay, then, Mr. Simon, do you have any questions or at this point? Okay.
I have many questions. Can we just take a 5-minute break?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Liz and Joe. Liz and Joe.
Do you need the,
What's that?
you want this?
Yeah, I guess I should do something. Okay.
Bottom, press it.
I did.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Flowers?
Turn your mics on.
Ms. Engelhardt?
Here.
Mr. Abbott?
Here.
Ms. Murphy?
Here.
Mr. Quillen?
Here.
Ms. Fleury?
Here.
Mr. Bond?
Here.
Ms. Lady? Here. Mr. Warner?
Here.
Mr. Bush?
Here.
Mr. Kirkpatrick?
Here.
And I, Sonia Santiago, here.
So, Mr. Simon, you ready to proceed?
Sure. Ms. Osterkorn, good evening.
Good evening.
So I'm going to jump around a little bit, ask you a whole bunch of questions based on what you submitted, what you previously testified to, both this evening and also in the prior meeting. First question, so your plan, the most recent plan that you put together has a revision date of November 18th, 2025, correct?
Yes,
And that represents your latest plan that you're submitting to the board for approval, correct?
yes,
Okay, and the zoning table reflects dimensions and calculations based not on a 66-foot right-of-way, but a 50-foot right-of-way, correct?
yes,
And even based on the 50-foot right-of-way, you are currently requesting, or the applicant is currently requesting no less than 8 variances, correct?
yes.
I'm going to want to have a document marked, I guess, can I have this marked 01? I guess for objectors 1. There you go. And then, yes, it is, for the board and the board professionals. And the record should reflect that I gave a copy to council. Never saw it.
No, you didn't.
It is not. I can certainly, at the conclusion of this hearing, make it available as I'm doing it to the board and the board secretary.
No, it's on.
It's on. It's on. I'll
Speak into it.
I'll eat the mic, as they say, in the trades. I should know about that, as Mr. Warner knows. Ms. Osterkorn, I am showing you what I've marked as 01. It is a Correga Engineering septic design plan dated August 8th, 2024. Have you ever seen this plan before, ma'am?
Yes,
Okay, and when's the last time you saw this plan?
I don't have a date to give you an answer.
And what was the circumstances under which you saw this plan?
They asked me for my CAD file.
Who's they?
Correga.
Correga asked you for your CAD file. Explain what a CAD file is.
It's a drawing format file for them to do their septic design off of.
Okay, and when did Correga Engineering ask you for your CAD file?
Again, I don't have a date.
I'm going to show, with regard to 01, at the bottom of the page, in the middle of the page, it says general notes. Note number 1, and I'm reading from the note. This map is not a boundary survey. The boundary geometry and topography were taken from 35 Schoolhouse Lane, Boundary and Topographical Survey, Block 3501, Lot 6, I'm sorry, 3501, Lots 6.01 and 6.0, I'm sorry, yeah, Lot 6, Township of Morris, Morris County, dated April 17th, 2024, prepared by Omland and Sternhorn and signed by Kirsten Osterkorn. Does that number 1 note refresh your recollection?
Yeah,
How does it refresh your recollection?
that my survey was done in April 2024.
Okay. Does that refresh your recollection as to when you first saw this septic design?
No,
Okay. General note number 2, again, I'm reading from the bottom of 01. This proposed layout were taken from 35 Schoolhouse Lane minor subdivision plat, block 3501, lots 6.01 and 6.02, Township of Morris, Morris County, New Jersey, dated April 17th, 2024, prepared by Omlin and Sternhorn and signed by Kirsten Osterkorn. You see that note?
I do.
Okay. You prepared a minor subdivision plat dated April 17th, 2024 for this property?
Not that was signed and sealed.
When did you prepare the plan that was listed as note 2 on the Correga Engineering septic design?
I don't have a date on hand.
Can you estimate for this board and the public when you prepared that subdivision plan that was ultimately dated April 17th of 2024?
I cannot off the top of my head.
Does the review of this Correga Engineering plan, septic design plan, refresh your recollection as to the information that was contained on that minor subdivision plat that you did not sign apparently, but you provided to Correga Engineering?
It does.
Okay. And what did it show?
We were working on conceptual designs, nothing signed and sealed.
When you say conceptual design for a minor subdivision application?
No,
A conceptual design for what?
he did not, the client did not give explicit to what he was planning for the property.
We'll start with the proposed lot line. You see that on 01?
Yes,
Did that proposed lot line come from either your boundary geometry and topographic plan or from your minor subdivision plat?
it's not my text type or file. I can't, we were working with a bunch of different layouts, but that's not my font type that I use.
Is it possible that Correga Engineering used its own font type based on the information, the proposed layout, as is noted in general note number 2?
Yes, it's also possible they changed everything.
Do you recall whether your minor subdivision plat, lot 6.01 and 6.02, depicted a proposed lot line?
No, I don't recall.
Do you recall whether your minor subdivision plat, lot 6.01 and 6.02, actually depicted lot numbers 6.01 and 6.02?
Yes, it did.
And those two lots were separate or separated by a lot line, correct?
There was text in a file that could have been manipulated. There was nothing defined nor signed document provided.
When you say something could be manipulated, do you know whether Correga Engineering manipulated the proposed lot line that it said, according to its plan, that was signed and sealed, that was based on your minor subdivision plat?
I
that you
can't speak to
provided?
that, no.
With regard to the proposed two-story frame dwelling that is located on the left lot, proposed lot 6.01, was that design part of your unsigned minor subdivision plat dated April 17, 2024?
That was part of my plot plan they used for building permits.
So when you say your plot plan, it was the plot plan that showed the two-story frame dwelling, was that on either one of the April 17, 2024 plans?
I'm not, I'd have to look back to what I sent. I work very nicely with a lot of consultants. I'm not sure what was in the files exactly I sent at that date.
Do you know where you received the information to lay out the proposed two-story frame dwelling with the proposed pool that is depicted on proposed lot 6.01 of 01 Correga Engineering septic design?
From the homeowner.
And do you,
From where?
The homeowner?
Thank you. Please proceed.
and did it come from the homeowner or did it come from the architect or both?
It was the homeowner and their builder.
Their builder. Do you remember the name of the builder?
Deer Builders, I think. His name was Bill.
And when did Deere Builders or Bill or the owner provide you with this layout of a proposed two-story frame dwelling for lot 6.01?
I don't have that date.
And there's no zoning or bulk table information depicted on 01, correct?
On Correga's plan?
Yes.
No.
And on Correga's plan, there is depicted a 100-foot radial distance from the well on proposed lot 6.01 to the proposed subdivision lot line, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I'll
And-
go over.
And the septic design also proposes, where it states Schoolhouse Lane, a 66-foot right-of-way, correct?
Yes.
And do you know whether Correga Engineering received information that this was a 66-foot right-of-way from either one of your April 17th, 2024 plans that are noted in general notes on the bottom of 01?
I can't confirm how they did their notes.
When did you perform the field work that resulted in the April 17th boundary and topographical survey?
Well, I have the survey dated the April 13th. I don't have when the fieldwork was dated on our plans.
I'm sorry, just repeat that. I didn't hear
I
that.
have the survey dated the April 13th, 2024. I don't have the fieldwork date offhand.
Do you recall, as you're testifying tonight under oath, approximately how many weeks prior to April, what did you say, 13th or 17th?
13th.
April 13th, 2024, that you were out in the field providing surveying for that boundary and topographical survey?
I would estimate 2 to 3 weeks prior to that date.
And with regard to the information that is contained on your minor subdivision plat dated April 17th, 2024, including layout of driveway, et cetera, do you recall approximately when you performed field work to provide that information on your minor subdivision plan?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure. Do you recall, based on when did you perform the field work that resulted in the creation of your minor subdivision plat that's referenced in General Note 2?
That note is the one I'm unsure of what they're referring to. Because we did our surveying field work. The client moved forward with preparing his house, and then we were engaged with subdivision.
Okay, so you're telling me that you did not, are you telling me under oath that you did not prepare a minor subdivision plat for this property dated April 17, 2024?
I cannot confirm that at this moment. I don't have my records in front of me to say what I did or did not send to people.
Do you have records that are back at your office to verify the information that you actually sent to Correga Engineering
Yes,
regarding the minor subdivision plat dated April 17, 2024?
yes. I have my emails with Correga that, yes, I can confirm information. I just don't know off the top of my head from a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. And your minor subdivision plat dated April 17, 2024 was not referenced or noted on your submitted subdivision plan originally dated May 20th, 2025, nor referenced on your most recent November 2025 minor subdivision plan, correct?
Yes,
And it seems that the project number that you used for the subdivision 240324 was the same project number throughout, correct?
yes.
And do you recall whether the information that you received from the owner or the architect showing the layout of the proposed two-story frame dwelling for proposed lot 6.01 included a full set of architectural plans?
For his specific house?
Yes, like that.
Yeah,
Right. So you got so prior to
Well,
April 17th, 2024, you received a full set of a proposed two-story frame dwelling for lot 6.01, correct?
no, not prior to that date.
So how did you know prior
Oh.
to
Okay.
April 17th, 2024, that it was going to be a 4-bedroom home with a proposed covered front porch, a proposed deck, proposed covered deck, proposed salon, proposed pool, and a walkway in the locations shown on the Correga engineering plan that references your subdivision plan?
I was provided a conceptual plan from a modular home contractor that he was working with. You asked for a full set of architectural drawings. I was not provided that. I was a conceptual drawing that was 1 page. And Correga asked for how many bedrooms for them to do a septic design. That's all that matters at that point.
So you're saying to me that the design that is shown on the Correga engineering plan dated August 8th, 2024, where it states in the note, the layout was taken from your minor subdivision plat, so that that home was based on a modular home, one page?
It was based on a conceptual home.
And that conceptual home had all the details, design details that I just described?
Yes.
And so ultimately, you prepared an additional plan for your client entitled Site Preparation Plan, correct?
Yes.
I'd like to mark this as O2, please. Ms. Osterkorn, I'm just going to wait a second until the board members have copies. Thanks for your patience. Yeah, right there. Ms. Osterkorn, I'm going to show you what's been marked as O2, which is entitled Schoolhouse Lane's Site Preparation Plan. It's prepared by Omlin and Osterkorn and signed by you with a date of September 9th, 2024, correct?
Yes.
What is the site preparation plan?
The plan is showing the home to be demolished, the concrete pool, septic area to be removed. The shed was supposed to be demolished, but it wasn't yet. Fence to be removed, slate. The site to be cleaned up.
So is that what you just described for sheet one?
Yes.
Okay, so sheet one is showing what is going to be removed, correct?
Yes.
And it identifies a one-story frame dwelling that existed at the time, correct?
Yes.
It does not show any subdivision line, correct?
No.
And on the first page, it says Schoolhouse Lane, 66 feet, correct?
Yes, it does.
That you prepared.
Yep.
Okay. Do you recall what formed the basis for you identifying Schoolhouse Lane as a 66-foot right-of-way at the time?
Initially, at that time when we did the survey, we had found some evidence. We didn't have a full title search or the background that we have at this time. So we had noted it based on the mapping that was provided, and the deed for this specific lot called it to it.
Wait, excuse me. The deed for this specific lot, for this lot called it?
This called for the, sorry. No, I apologize. When we did the survey, we did not have a full title search done at the time. We were provided an older deed when we did it back in April, it was before, well, I guess the owner had purchased it. We only got the present owner deed, which didn't have the full back title to it, that then when we researched it further,
Okay, so let's back up, because I just want to make sure it's clear. So in April of 2024, you identified, based on the Correga Engineering septic design that referred to your both survey and minor subdivision plat, that the right-of-way for Schoolhouse Lane was 66 feet, correct?
no.
No. Okay.
Correga referred to my survey that was from April, and my survey from April referred to an older deed where it called to the center line was a 1960 deed, and it didn't specify a right-of-way.
So then in April, so do you know how it came about that on his septic design that he calls out in reference to your plans from April of 2024, a 66-foot right-of-way for Schoolhouse Lane?
Yes, he referenced my survey.
And
My
you're-
survey called for that at that point in time.
Okay, and so your survey that called out that at that point in time was based on what documentation?
We, at that point in time, only had a deed from 1960.
And what in the 1960 deed led you to conclude that the right-of-way for Schoolhouse Lane was 66 feet?
It called to the center line and it was not specified, and there was further information that referenced the old road map specifically for that lot only, and it wasn't until this entire application that we researched the entire block of information to find all of the other information for the 50-foot right-of-way.
And the road map that you're referring to for this lot only, what road map are you referring to?
Road map. What's the number? Sorry. Sorry, 1 second.
Take your time.
Thank you. Road Book A represents the first road book in Morris County and references the 1783 and 1784 right-of-ways that were registered. It was a right of Road Book A.
Okay, and that's what you were referring to in your testimony a moment ago,
Yes.
correct? Okay. And so now we're up to August 8th, 2024, the site preparation plan that shows a 66-foot right-of-way for Schoolhouse Lane. Was that 66-foot dimension, again, based on the late 1700 information that you just referred to?
Yes, we didn't re-review the right-of-way until our last meeting in October of 2025.
And going back to 02 for a moment, on sheet 1 of 3, see where your title block is? It says site preparation plan. Underneath the title, site preparation plan, it states block 3501, lots 6.01 and 6.02. You see that? Sheet 1 of 3 that you signed, you see that for 02?
Oh, no, sorry. Yes,
Okay. So at the time, on August 8th of September 9th, bad eyesight, September 9th of 2024, when you're depicting or you're stating it's lot 6.01 and 6.02, neither one of those lots are in existence at the time, correct?
correct.
And this site preparation plan was not prepared by you in contemplation of a subdivision application, correct?
No,
Do you know why the title block says block 3501, lot 6.01 and 6.02?
because I was preparing a set of plans for a site plan set that's a 3-sheet set that includes the subdivision as part of it.
So you were creating a subdivision set as early as September 9th of 2024?
Yes,
So when you were creating a subdivision set application on as of September 9th of 2024, was that a continuation of the subdivision work that you were doing as early as April of 2024?
honestly, I don't know. We document dates in our company and site plans as we progressing them. May not fit your answer, I'm sorry.
Who told you to prepare this site preparation plan?
My client,
Why did your client tell you to prepare a site preparation plan?
because he was demolishing his building.
Well, he wasn't just demolishing the building, because if we go to sheet 2 of 3 on O2, you're actually showing a proposed new building, correct?
Yes,
And on sheet 2 of 3, you're also identifying a zoning table with bulk items. And the zoning table is for what I'll call the mother lot, the entirety of lot 6, correct?
yes,
As if this was an application for an approval to build one house on lot 6 without a subdivision line or development of a second lot, correct?
yes,
And whether it's building coverage, setbacks, lot coverage, everything was calculated based on one house being developed and constructed on this lot, correct?
yes,
And in fact, it states on general notes, boundary and topographic information based on your survey dated April 13, 2024. That's correct?
yes,
And the information that's on here, on sheet 2 of 3, was based on information that was provided by the architect?
yes,
And the precise layout of the home, where it's located on lot 6, that was at the direction of the architect?
yes,
And on sheet 2 of 3 of O2, it's identified as plot plan, correct?
yes,
And underneath the words plot plan, on your title block, it again says block 3501, lot 6.01 and 6.02, correct?
yes,
Lot 6.01 and 6.02 did not exist at the time, correct?
correct,
Nor at the time were they being proposed as contained within this site preparation plan and plot plan, correct?
yes,
And going on to sheet and I'm sorry, sheet 2 of 3 also shows Schoolhouse Lane at 66 feet, correct?
Yes.
Going to sheet 3 of 3. If you go to the title block, it states, plot plan for 35 Schoolhouse Lane subdivision plan, block 3501, lots 6 and 6.01. So the numbers change from 6.01 and 6.02 to lot 6 and 6.01. Do you know why that was?
Typographical error.
And is sheet 3 of 3, is sheet 3 of 3 in fact the subdivision plan?
No.
What is sheet 3 of 3?
Soil erosion and sediment control plan.
Does sheet 3 of 3 depict the subdivision?
No.
Does anything on O2 identify bulk standards for 2 lots?
No.
Regarding your testimony about the title. Now, you're not a title expert, correct?
No.
Ms. Osterkorn, right? You have never conducted a property record search, correct?
We did do a title search on the property.
But have you ever gone to the county recording office and ever in your career done a title search?
No.
Have you ever testified at any quiet title litigation or other matter?
No.
Have you ever testified before regarding the correct right-of-way width on a particular street?
No.
Are you familiar with any case law, including the seminal Slowinski case, which is an appellate division case from 1994, I believe, that discusses the standards and law regarding right-of-way widths and how to determine them?
No.
So the right-of-way for Schoolhouse Lane was created in the late 1700s as a 66-foot road, correct?
Yes.
Do you know of any legal or engineering or surveying authority whereby filing a deed that references a 50-foot right-of-way or dedicating 25 feet of a right-of-way or what's depicted as a right-of-way width on a tax map change a 66-foot wide right-of-way that was created in the late 1700s? Are you aware of any authority for that proposition?
I'm not aware of a legal authority.
And you're not aware of any recorded vacation of a portion of the Schoolhouse Lane right-of-way since the late 1700s, correct?
Only dedications.
You're not aware of any township resolution that vacated any portion of the right-of-way that just happened to never be recorded, correct?
Only the dedication.
Are you aware of any dedication of land by the township to any adjacent property owner along Schoolhouse Lane?
No.
And your current subdivision plan from November 18th, 2025 still doesn't show the right-of-way on the other side of the road, correct?
Correct.
And it still doesn't show the location of properties on the other side of the road, correct?
I didn't think you'd want to see them.
Well, do you know the location of wells that may happen to be on the other side of the road in relation to your proposed septic system?
The wells, no, that would be on Cariega. The houses, yes.
Wait, the wells, no, that would be on Cariega.
Cariega's
I'm sorry.
septic design, Cariega, when they have to do a septic design, I wasn't the septic engineer. They had to research wells within 100 feet of the septic system. We did locate houses across the street. It just wasn't favorable for you, honestly, of where they located in respect to a 66-foot right-of-way, so we didn't show them.
Okay, I'm sorry, Kirsten, I'm just trying
That's
to
okay.
clarify your testimony here. On 01, I'm looking at the Cariega engineering plan, and I'm seeing a 150-foot radius, I guess, from the septic field,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And it shows one house across the street, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, looking at this plan, whether there's a well?
No,
It's not. Do you know where that well is for Lot 5?
no. That would be on Cariega's responsibility to locate that well.
Okay, so that's not part of your job
Nope,
for this project.
nope.
Okay. With regard to what Nancy marked as A3, A4, A5, and A6 that she walked through with you tonight, did you prepare A3, A4, A5, or A6?
Which ones are?
A3 is my letter.
Yeah.
Did you, okay. we'll
I
go
did not
through it.
prepare A3.
Okay, did you participate in the creation of A3?
I reviewed it after it was written.
Okay, but you didn't participate in its creation, correct? A4 is I think it's the master plan from 2020, a portion of the master plan from 2012. You
No.
didn't participate in that, correct? I think that's A4. Pretty sure.
Mr. Warner?
Steve?
Yes.
Master Plan 2012 circulation.
So that's A4. You didn't participate in
I
that,
did
correct?
not participate in that.
Right. A5 is the Schoolhouse Lane right-of-way deed references, the 6 pages. Did you participate in creating that?
I reviewed it with her, but Miss Lautenveld, but she created it first.
She did it all. So you didn't create A5 at all, correct?
No,
And A6, the tax map exhibit, the 2 sheets, did you participate in the creation of that in any
Yes.
way? Right, so basically what you did to create, based on A3, A4, A5, and A6, is that on A6, you took the tax map and we only got tonight for the first time, and the other documentation for the record, hundreds of pages we received for the first time this afternoon, that the only thing you created of all those exhibits was you put in the common address number on the tax map for each one of the lots, correct?
yes,
And then you superimposed some information that was on Ms. Lautenville's A5 onto that map, correct?
yes,
You have not reviewed each of the deeds yourself, correct?
I have.
You have. Okay, good. You're not aware of any of the searches performed by the surveyors who created the meets and bounds on those deeds, correct?
No,
You don't know if any of the searches performed by those surveyors to create the meets and bounds you referred to went back to the late 1700s, correct?
correct.
And just to clarify, and I believe it was asked earlier by a member of the board, I don't remember who, that if the right-of-way is 66 feet and not 50 feet, the deviations from the ordinance standard for each of the 8 categories for which you require variance relief would be exacerbated, intensified, greater, correct?
Yes,
You talked about, sorry, just give me a second. It's lost. On the current plan, the November 2025 plan, on sheet 2, there's a reference to a 66-foot right-of-way per road map and 50-foot right-of-way per evidence and town tax maps, right?
yes,
Okay. The evidence and town tax maps that you're referring to here, is that the information that was provided this evening?
yes,
And that was contained in A3, 4, sorry, let's be clear, A3, A4, A5, and A6? Correct?
I want to confirm what they are before I say yes.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll go through it with you again, I'm sorry. That's my bad. A3 is the 5-page letter from council. A4 is the 2012 master plan circulation page. A5 is the 6-page Schoolhouse Lane right-of-way deed references that council prepared. And A6 was the tax map exhibit, 2 sheets where you superimposed the common address and some information that was contained on A5.
Yes,
So, with regard to the pins that you referred to, that were neither of which were called out in the deed for the subject property, correct?
correct.
And when you say called out in the deeds for the subject property, are you talking about a description that was contained in a 1960 deed for this property or something prior or subsequent?
Any of the deeds didn't call for,
Okay, when you say any of the deeds, because you didn't do the search, correct, for this property?
correct.
Okay, so what deeds are you referring to? What's the earliest or oldest deed that you're referring to?
Hold on 1 second. Don't have the deed book and page on the top of my head.
That's all right, take your time.
Thank you. There's one before this, right? The deed we have on record, that was from 2023. There were 3 deeds prior to that, but I don't have those on hand to refer to, from 1985 and 1998.
Okay.
That were all prior. But the one that we do have did not call to a property corner.
Okay, and the one that you do have is from what year?
2023.
So,
One before that was 1998 and then 1985.
okay, so the 1998, right? Is that what you said?
1998 and then 1985,
Okay, so
yeah.
1985 and the 1998 deeds you have not reviewed, correct?
I honestly, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I might have them in my files. I just don't know off the top of my head. I was given a document. I just can't, I don't have them in front of me to answer that question properly.
Okay. I don't want you to guess. Do you have anything in your records here that tend to indicate that you reviewed any deed for the subject property prior to 1985?
No.
Have you reviewed any deed for the Lot 8 property next door?
Yeah.
Is that yes?
That's a yes.
Okay.
Just
What's the,
wish I had your questions beforehand.
well,
I
sorry,
could have them all with me.
right. Can you, either yourself or have Nancy help you identify the Lot 8 deeds, meets and bounds that you reviewed? It's on the same side of the street.
No.
Yes,
Yes.
correct, correct.
Okay, I'm looking at the deed.
And what's the year of that deed?
June 20th, 2000.
And that's the deed that you reviewed that led you to conclude that it doesn't call out, I think what you referred to in your testimony as the Richard Smith pin?
It just says beginning at a point in the middle of the road.
And,
Point being,
and who prepared that meets and bounds?
I don't see a name.
You don't see a name? Okay. And what was the year of the survey that was performed?
For this deed?
Yes, that was referenced in the deed. Can I'm happy to take a look at it if you want to show it to me. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so there's no date or identification as to who performed the survey to create these meets and bounds, correct?
No.
Okay, and so you haven't reviewed any deed prior to the year 2000 for Lot 8 that references a legal description, correct?
No.
And when you prepared your site preparation plan 02 dated September 9, 2024, which was subsequent to your preparation although unsigned, of a minor subdivision plat. Well, actually, strike the question. When you prepared your unsigned minor subdivision plat dated April of 2024, did you conclude at the time that as a result of that subdivision, that not one but both of those subdivided lots would require variance relief?
No,
You didn't, as part of that minor subdivision plat creation from April of 2024, you did not perform that analysis at all?
Could you clarify the question?
Sure. When you created the minor subdivision plat, April of 2024, that's specifically referenced in the Correa Engineering septic design as a note, at the time you created that plan, even if it was unsigned by you, did you form a conclusion or do an investigation as to whether variance relief would be required for any such subdivision?
no, it wasn't of any formal research or documentation that was done. That's why there was no formal of anything that was submitted, referred to or otherwise. It wasn't a conclusive type of due diligence or anything that was done for the property. So that line that was ended up being referred to, a plan that was referred to, was nothing conclusive of any sort of full investigation on the property.
Do you recall ever creating a minor or major subdivision plan without first ascertaining the zoning requirements in the zone where the subdivision is being proposed?
I don't recall.
You know, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you.
Are there any questions from other members of the public? Okay. So where are we here?
We have no, Mr. Simon, you've completed your cross-examination of this witness on all issues and all materials provided to date?
Other than, I would make a formal, well, two things.
Okay.
Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah.
Number one is certainly, and I expressed this in an email earlier today to the board, that given the fact that we received hundreds of pages, literally, of materials the day of a hearing that go to, as admitted to the credit of the applicant, frankly, admitted to be a critical issue as to how to measure the deviations as material to any subdivision application, and receiving it for the first time today, not even morning, the afternoon of the hearing, that we certainly reserve our right to go back and review that material that admittedly have not had an opportunity to fully review, and reserve our right to ask additional questions of the witness upon reviewing that information. That's
Any
number.
objection, applicant's counsel? Thank you. Please proceed.
And number two, that, you know, I referenced and demonstrated that certainly there were two plans, a boundary and topographical survey plan and a minor subdivision plat plan by the witness, created by the witness, signed or unsigned, dated April of 2024. And I would ask
the chair and members of the board to consider having the witness present that at the next meeting, provide it to the board, have it available, members of the public, at least 10 days prior.
Does the applicant's counsel object to providing that on a voluntary basis per the request of objector's counsel?
I am unclear what it is he's asking us
I think it was the survey and the minor subdivision plan that Ms. Oxenhorn stated as to the latter was not signed and sealed. I believe they were April 2024 dates, if I recall correctly. I'm sorry. Well, it's a request of objector's counsel if that would be provided voluntarily at the request of the objector's counsel.
I will agree to review the file and see what we have, and if it's there, we'll bring it forward.
Okay, and provided to the board and council at least 10 days prior, if it's located at least 10 days prior?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, your request for time to review is certainly reasonable. I can't, as it is for us, we didn't see them till now either. So no, that makes perfect sense. And I think that, the applicant did recognize that it was less. So that we would certainly.
Yes. And for the record, the applicant did reach out to me this afternoon and did provide me the information this afternoon, of course.
But yeah, it is a lot. So at this point, I guess we need to.
Well, if I may,
Yes.
just to confirm, Ms. Tonsville, on behalf of the applicant, you have no further witnesses or testimony or documentary evidence to present this evening, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you wish to have the matter carried?
Yes, we do.
Okay, thank you. We do wish to have that, Mayor. So do we have an opening on the calendar?
Now, I just want to say, actually, I'm sorry, parenthetically, so I've been before this Board of Adjustment for many, many, many years, and there's no one better than Sonia, and she will be. And I mean that regardless of the side of the aisle that you're on.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, really,
Well,
great work.
yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you.
I don't think that's going to change the date, though.
Besides, she's leaving, so better
Yeah,
interrupt
right,
doesn't
she
do any
won't
good
be
now.
Well, that's why I said it, because I know that I can't influence her.
Okay.
February 12th.
Hold on one second. I have a double conflict that night.
Oh. Mr. Simon says there's a double conflict on that date, so.
No good?
Yeah.
Okay. February 1st.
That's a Sunday,
February
1st.
1st.
February 1st is a Sunday according to my calendar.
Very first of the time.
2026.
Yeah.
He's already retired.
That's very well said, yeah. The second is Monday, I'm available then.
Monday, February 2nd is Groundhog Day.
Perfect.
Great.
Very appropriate.
I would say,
Right.
The rule is no jokes.
is that acceptable to applicant?
Carried to that date, and it should be long enough that I should be able to lock down my additional witness.
Witnesses? Is that it then? So that's our date?
February 2nd?
And we're
Okay,
So this matter will be carried without further notice to Monday, February 2nd, 7 PM at the same location, the municipal building.
Without prejudice, right?
okay.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, please do. Thank you for putting that on the record. But please also, if you would, send an email consenting to an extension of time to act through the end of the month of February, if you would, please. End of the month of February?
End of February.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay,
Did we open for the public?
We did for questioning. Yeah, I think.
yes.
No questions.
Yes, we did ask for questions. Yes, we did, right? So we're all set. So
What?
we can move on.
Trying to get a butt kicked.
Oh. Well, at least they won't
Gee,
lose in the
that's
fourth
not-
quarter then.
It's not a surprise.
Yeah. Okay, okay, moving on. Any other matters, legislative committee? Nothing. Time for public comments on matters not before the board tonight. Any general comments? Seeing none, we'll close that, and no reason for a closed session at this point?
Not this evening.
Okay, I will entertain this, you're in the right seat.
Mr. Chairman? A little louder, I would.
Yeah, a little faster too.
Yeah, gotta turn the mic on. Oh, for contrast,
Sorry, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for coming out tonight.
Yes, thank you very much.